now call on George Adam to be followed by Claudia Beamish.
Thank you, Presiding Officer. I'd like to thank Graeme Dey for bringing this debate here as well, because I'll probably go from a perspective that Mr Dey will probably be quite surprised when I talk about Paisley and some of the local situations that we've had there with regards to, and the difference it can make if you take a different idea with regards to rubbish. One of the problems that we have is vandalism and various graffiti and all kinds of different things happening, antisocial behaviour within an area. And I've got one community activist who, I've actually got his name written down here, but I won't actually mention the gentleman's name. But he's an elderly gentleman, lives in the south end of Paisley, and every meeting he goes to, whether it be the community council, whether it be the Tenants and Residents Association, or whether it be the local area committee, he always sits there and saying, what are you going to do with the Nielsen Road shops? There's graffiti all over these shops, and what are you going to do? Now that brings up in itself an interesting debate when you're talking about keeping a whole area tidy and clean, because it's everybody's, as Graeme Dey already mentioned, it's everyone's responsibility. It's not just the local authority, it's not just the kids going out after school and picking up some rubbish. It's actually all of us that actually take an involvement, and that includes local businesses. Because for too long there are many businesses who will see it in our streets and cities and towns across the country where they actually forget that when they're taking money from our pockets, they have to remember they might not live in the town that they serve as a retailer, but they have to remember that they actually gain something from it and should work along with the community to ensure that they can make sure that the town is quite clean, because this can make a massive difference in so many other different things, not just on the fact that it's unsightly and it's wrong, and the fact that regeneration of town centres, who's going to invest in a town centre that has rubbish going down through the street? No one, new business, is going to come in and spend thousands of pounds in something if the rubbish is there and there's bin bags not yet to be collected. So these are all issues that make a difference as well. And if you look at, from a housing perspective, we only need to look at various housing estates throughout the country to know that ones that in the 1950s and 60s were lovely, and we've all seen the pictures of it. If certain areas and certain streets are allowed to go down a routine of just letting rubbish go everywhere, everyone gives up. Everyone just leaves it, and actually it just becomes the norm. And I think by bringing this issue up, Graeme Dey is doing us all a favour by making us remember that this isn't just about a campaign and an ongoing campaign about that. It's something that should be part of our life all the time. Within Renfrewshire, when we were in the administration, we had the Clean Renfrewshire campaign, and we were offering community clean-ups, but it was about the ownership of the whole idea. It was our issue, our problem to deal with, and I think that is the most important thing. One thing we also did, which wasn't too popular, was give the warden service the powers to actually book everybody for any kind of littering and the like in the town. But that did make a difference. It wasn't popular initially, but it did make a difference within the area as well, and helped towards changing the culture. As Graeme Dey already mentioned, this is something we have to do. We have to say that fly tipping is totally unacceptable, because 1 minute is just one part, then it's just non-stop. So just in closing, Presiding Officer, I'd like to thank Graeme Dey for bringing this forward, and say that we have to actually all work in this together, because the whole point of the campaigns that I've been involved with at local level has been that we're all in it together, and it's Clean Renfrewshire, and that made the difference, and that was the message we had to get across, that every single one of us had to be responsible.
Thanks very much.